Also, I linked it in the Theta Discord, Dirk, if you want to read through the cringe.
Did you link it in the Theta Discord? Well, hello, everybody.
Yeah.
Welcome to Theta Thursdays. We have a very, very interesting show tonight, don't we? I believe.
Yeah, we're just gonna be yelling at you for having no class, Mifune. That's the show. We changed our minds in the last 30 seconds. You just have no class, and we're just yelling at you.
Hold on, Dirk, I want to check. Audience, can you hear me just fine? Because I was not really hearable on Tuesday, so I just want to make sure. Can everybody hear me? Yes, no?
Audible. The word you're looking for is audible, Dawn.
Yeah. Okay, I'm going to go with yes. So, welcome, everybody. We might have some guests showing up later. It's going to be kind of a very lackadaisy night tonight, but we have currently with us Don Rhea, myself. We have Mifune, who is my co-host and tech man someday. And then we have a returning guest, Greg, Haza, a regular, Ragnar, Schwarzkopf, and Dox Heckard, and another returning guest, Dirk Statiel. We have a lot to go over tonight, and we're probably going to be the most ADD show you've ever seen, bouncing around from topic to topic, so bear with us. But no, we probably won't do a Theta Among Us after this. We've got shit to do tonight. So let's jump into it. What's the biggest story you guys think is out of all the ones we were talking about earlier?
I think the biggest one is definitely Pappy deciding to fall back.
Dude, you don't need to get so close to your microphone, Christ.
He's fine.
Suddenly loud.
Just turn him down yourself. So what? Yeah, I'm with, as Mifune was trying to say, Pappy is gem clone deploying back to catch because initiative is that scary?
Well, we don't know that they're jump clone deploying, just as a start. Like, the assumption is they're going to be jump clone deploying, but we won't actually know for certain whether or not it's a jump clone or if it's a full, like... Because you've got to remember, in this ping, ProGod was talking about a move up, right? ProGod was talking about EUTZ, USTZ, AUTZ move up.
Well, pair it with the one I just linked to you from Brave, and that'll tell you what's going on. Because that was like yesterday.
I'm gonna quote this from the leaked Brave ping, where Brave has found the real Delve. Home is where the war is. Excuse me, I'm gonna pull this quote from John Hartley from a couple of months ago. This is your war. You are invading us. So, since when, at any point, has the war been at your doorstep and not our doorstep? You guys have made it such a huge point. All of the morale, all of the narrative has been that you guys are at Delve's doorstep, and now you're retracting every last one of those to say that the war is now at your own doorstep just because we have an allied force slowly destroying all of your shit behind you?
It's not just that.
I thought they wanted to leave, didn't they? Or was that Test leaving behind their allies to move into Delve?
Well, okay, so if you look, and what I was trying to pair with the ping that we got from Brave, which I don't know if you want to link it in the channel for the good folks at home. Basically, Brave is like freaking out, and they're going home with their secondary caps and their jump clones to defend their space that they don't want from initiative. Okay, so then Piggles announces today that a coalition-wide meeting, this isn't just Test or just Legacy, coalition, like I'm assuming that means all of PanFam as well, is expected to go, or you think it's just Legacy?
Right.
It's just a Legacy thing.
Okay.
ProGod has no standing to do, like, anything to do with PanFam, and if he tried, they'd probably just laugh at him. Anything that ProGod or Villy or anybody says about coalition-wide stuff is Legacy stuff, and then you've got, like, Gobbins and you know,
Right, that's what I was wondering. I was
Vince
like, are
and
they?
everyone, that when they talk about coalition stuff, they're talking about PanFam. They're two separate coalitions kind of working together here. That's kind of the situation.
And yes, ban. I am a talking cat.
So
is
But-
this officially a two-front war for Pappy now?
It's
No,
been like 5 days. Give it a little time, Greg.
Yeah.
Forefront?
the
Rush
weird
Well,
thing
no,
was,
open two
seriously,
fronts.
seriously, forefront, because we're talking about Delve, and we've been talking about Delve for a while, but then we had Fountain, and now we're on the second coming of Fountain, and then HIX got hit earlier which is over on period basis,
And that's coming out tonight. So
you know that
you want to
that
get on a
might be
kill mill?
might be coming from Delve, I suppose, for that. But either way, the catch front is the third front at minimum.
So you've
They're
got
just all
initiative
over the
out
place.
there. Yeah, so Bastion's in Esoteria still. I don't believe they've left. I think that initiative decided that they're not going to be. It's not in their best interest to be there to be effective, so they went ahead and moved to catch. It's kind of like Goldilocks. You got to find the right front for you, because Theta deploying, like as an example, Theta deploying out to frickin' Cobalt Edge would be the worst idea ever.
so
But
before people start blowing up the chat, because I know people are gonna blow up the chat about this narrative today. We never cared about the Hicks Keepstar. We don't, because it's in period basis. And we've said since October that we don't care about that Keepstar. That's on y'all for having to backtrack yourselves. Go kill that shit.
yeah, they're kind of like an afterthought of, oh yeah, I guess we should blow this up. They could have honestly left it there for months and it would have been fine. But yes, okay, to be specific, yes, chat, they went to Curse, but they're hitting catch from Curse. And they're killing stuff in Curse too. So they're doing both. So
So just
but yeah,
reflect on something from history. What other invading force opened a multi-front war and kind of failed at doing so?
Oh my god, Greg.
going into what?
I believe that was the
Good Lord.
Nazis, Greg.
Yes, it was.
Do we?
Oh.
No,
History with Theta.
let's not, please, no
You're
further
not
down
both.
that. No further
As
down that
soon as you
analogy.
said-
We're done with that.
As soon
Okay,
as you
so
said
Right, we
history,
are.
I knew exactly where you were going, and we're not going there.
Well,
But
he
Let's
meant
keep
that they
it to
lost,
the
which they
virtual
did,
world,
so.
please.
well,
I'm not wrong though.
I'm just
No, he's not. They lost because they opened up two fronts.
I'm just wondering why
Right, we take
Test
battle strategies from history, right?
yeah.
Yeah.
I'm just wondering why Test isn't letting Brave handle it. Because according to Villy today on Talking in Stations Discord, the locals should be able to handle in it just fine. XIX had 200 Macarials just hanging around today. So why are they deploying?
I'm gonna refer you back to the person who actually pinged about the whole legacy State of the Coalition meeting and everything. And then I'm gonna ask you who was talking in stations today and who pinged it. And then you might start to understand why Legacy don't trust Brave to do it.
Well, and Piggle said that they are on the cusp of victory in Delve. And Villy, right below that, says there's a picture linked, Villy saying that there are actually, at minimum, the amount of months they have left to even break Delve is 3 months, which I feel like is a healthy number, but it kind of depends on what they consider breaking. Is that like just getting into one system, or is that like flowing through?
No, haven't you heard? Like the past 2 months, they've been bragging. They claim victory as killing our main stage in Keepstar, and as soon as that Keepstar is dead, well, that's PanFam, but that's also been Legacy. PGL and Villy have said so many times that as long as 1DQ is dead, then apparently the rest of Delve will fall with it.
Well, that's obviously a narrative argument to try and line them up with PanFam, Mifune. Come on, let's be realistic. But when it comes to Legacy, have moved their goalposts a lot, and I'm not saying that we haven't moved our own defensive goalposts.
I think we're in a position to have to do that.
we figure out what we've got to do defensively to maintain our position in Delve and try and, if worst comes to worst, we retreat to NPC Delve, we try and figure ourselves out, and we, at the end of the day, we might end up leaving Delve. We might be forced to do that. But when you're invading and you say, okay, was it even a month ago when Legacy basically said, hey, guys, you need to be ready to move everything. This is it.
Well,
we win
there's always
Delve
gonna be a
or
couple
bust.
months.
No, like, in terms of the time taken between win Delve or bust and we have to deploy back to catch, has it even been a month?
Yeah.
So
That's why I just don't understand this. Like, are they just hoping to like smack in it down like we're gonna teach you this lesson again, old man? Or what?
If Legacy deploy back to catch wholesale, if they make their main staging area back in catch again, are they expecting Horde to hold the front?
They're expecting Horde to do all the work they've already been doing anyways.
Do they not expect some sort of counterattack? I'm confused as to what's going on here, what the argument is, and what the thought process is behind Piggle. Because from what I've seen, from this being a Piggles ping and Villy's responses, this is very much a Piggles is throwing shit at the wall again, and Villy's just kind of having to try and make
clean up after his pet, basically.
Yeah, pretty much.
I think Piggles
you gotta clean out
is
the
the hype
pen
man.
every once in a
no,
while.
I mean Piggles is the hype man, and then Villy's just the doting adult behind him, going, God, no.
Dawn,
no.
but the thing is, you can't let a hype man make decisions like that. You make the decision, the hype man hypes them, not the other way around.
Yeah, Dawn.
I'm not in charge of their group. They want to go that way, that's them. Are you going to stop them from doing this?
No.
I think they're looking at it as though they're doing it that way. Like, Villy decided to invade, and now Piggles is trying to hype the invasion by making bad decisions.
Oh no, Piggles wanted to invade for at least a year prior to that. Piggles is the one who wore Villy down. Villy didn't want to do it, but Piggles was like, but come on, we could do it. And then here we are today.
At what point do their allies start saying, we're sick of your shit?
When they aren't
when they
slaves
deploy to catch
test?
or something, like.
Oh, actually, okay. I want to get into this a little bit because I was asking some questions yesterday, and there was a lot of discussion on Tuesday about it. But you were asking, what is it going to take for their pets to leave them or go away from them or not be subservient to them? Test has everyone by the balls because they don't trust anybody with their own money.
They don't have anyone by the balls.
Does this come back to they receive value, Dawn?
It's not even just that. Like Villy talked about how they have organizational wealth, which means that they keep caches of ships. They don't SRP the same way we do. They don't trust their allies to run their own programs. I mean, dear God, most of their alliances can't pay for their own stuff.
Is this some sort of weird pension program?
Test is, from everything that I've heard from brave people that have come to Goons, or just them talking about themselves.
Or Necro.
Test, Necro, or anybody actually, even Aquila. Test has the money, and they try to basically extort the other alliances in their group because they will make these weird rules where you can't sell supers to anyone outside your own home region. And
also,
but then they'll take supers from Delve, bring them over, and then sell them in those regions at double the cost. They don't let people put their own buildings down.
That seems like citation needed a little bit. I'm not gonna lie, Dawn.
This is directly from the former director.
We're delving into the area of citation needed, but I could definitely see, potentially not selling supers outside of your own region, that.
Well, they also put in strange restrictions where alliances or corporations are limited to certain areas and constellations where they can rat and mine, as opposed to just all of their area being open to everyone like it is with goons?
I'm gonna go ahead and point out that other alliances within the Imperium have had not far, but somewhat more open ratting and mining than GSF has. In the
Yeah,
we
but
don't
normal
we don't rat and
GSF.
mine. Normal GSF rules are that we don't rat and mine in our allies' space that they are renting out. You know, if it's
Yeah, that's
Imperium
renter
space,
space.
sure.
Yeah, that's rental
But
space. We
but the
don't do
thing
that.
is,
I'm talking about general space where you're living.
but my point is that those allies who own that space may not put that restriction on their own members. So they may actually have far more space accessible to them to do those things. You know, in terms of the Imperium and GSF is where we try and centralize. But we do put restrictions on our guys that do benefit our allies in these ways. So if Dawn's correct and Test are throwing random restrictions at their allies that don't benefit those allies, I don't know.
And also with Necro also told us about how at least Requiem Eternal rented their moons. Because with goons we have our own way, but taxes I think most moon owners can say are not that high, right? For people who's rented moons like Docs, I know, Don, I know you do.
I've
Oh
never
yeah.
rented a moon
Did
myself.
moon rent is it was like 10 million a day for all the moons I had.
On
Like, it
average,
was
that's pretty
nothing.
much what mine was. 20 million, I think.
Yeah.
I think
But
something like
then,
that.
and I was shocked when Necro told us, like, no, that's not how they do it. Like, their taxes you pay. How much was it? Like he said, if you rented an R64 in Requiem Eternal, it was like 65% of what you mined or what the cost was, and he said you'd have to pay $8 in taxes a month for it.
Oh
Yeah,
my,
that's
what?
just like
And
I
yet,
remember
I'm like,
I remember watching that conversation earlier today and was like, what? The mind boggles.
I know.
what?
I'm like, really? That's not Test. That's not Brave. Like, I don't know how they do it, but like a legacy member, that's how they rent their moons.
I
Is that
remember when I was renting moons, you know, a year ago back in the Rockwall era, between me and like 5 other guys, we had somewhere in the region of 20 to 25 moons. Half a dozen of them were R16, one of them was an R32. We were talking about 25 million taxes a day. You
wait?
know,
So is this why on Trash Talk Tuesday, when I said I owned 24 moons at one point, they all were like flabbergasted?
it sounds like
Probably.
it.
It
Like
literally
me,
cost us, our taxes was 1 to 1.5 billion a month when we had ore and everything in them. And
Yeah.
I split it with me, Magnum, and usually we had 1 or 2 other business partners rotating out. Like I went through 6 because like I'm the kiss of death, I guess. So that's why they thought I was so rich. They spent that much on moons.
yeah,
Like,
like I myself, I rented. I mean, some have died, so I don't know if I still have them. But like
So
when it was just me, like myself, no one else helping me, it was just 10 moons. It was like 10 mil a day, so that's like what, 300 mil to like close to a bill a month, depending on like
How many moons
whatever math you want to go off
and
of.
I mean, we were basing this off like Jita prices as well, right? This was getting calculated every single day. So one day you might
Yeah, I got a tax bill every
Jita
day
might get
for like 10 million.
Jita might get tanked, right? For say
yeah, you
20 moon.
spend
Jita might
nothing on
get
taxes.
tanked and you'd pay like 12 mil, and then Jita recovers, and the next day you pay 18, and the day after you pay like 22. You
Yeah.
know, it averages
It's
out.
all
But
making
holy
sense now.
shit.
They thought I
The
was paying
amount
billions a month for this shit. These guys are dumb. Not even
Yeah, they
close.
are
It
dumb.
cost nothing to
and
rent a moon.
Yeah.
people wonder how like guys in Delve manage to accumulate their own wealth to have Titans, and Supers, and all of the subcaps they want and stuff. You know,
It's because we had our own fucking moons and it was cheap.
Yeah, like So that is the two different models. Is their model is organizational wealth, and then we hand out ships to those who show up. But we are not like devoted to any of you at all. Every one of you is replaceable. GSF's model is we're going to let you guys have the money and hope you show up because we take care of you. It is a riskier model in some regards because you got to hope that.
Right? GSF's model is, hey, in good times, we'll give you all of the potential to make your own money if you want to, like, put in the work. And then in bad times, we'll end up nationalizing all your moons, because fuck you, the organization comes first. But we'll still pay for your ships if you show up.
Yeah.
It's just very interesting. I'm learning so much about everybody.
Well,
I thought the way GSF did it was just how you did it.
yeah,
I didn't know.
Same.
I didn't know there were other ways to do this. It makes sense because like we've had over the years.
Of course, there are ways to extort people. I mean,
Well,
people
yeah.
have been doing it for centuries.
Well, okay, so over the years in Theta, especially, we'll get people who are like adorable newbies or like poor little PTSD'd pandemic horde pilots who come over and they're like, "Hey, am I allowed to mine over here?" And it's like a normal belt, like or a normal ANOB in some random system. We're like, "Yeah." He's like, "Is there anything I have to do or like any group I gotta
Oh my
sign up?"
god!
But
So
besides that, no.
I think it
we were
was.
like, they were like so scared to mine.
Speaking
We had to
of
like coax them out of it.
So speaking of horde little newbies, I guess I have a bit of a story. So for those who haven't looked recently, I believe it was 3 days ago on an Asher Elias fleet, we successfully refed the T5Z iHub with no resistance in a singular 150-man fleet at 10:12 at night, and I believe
I was there.
I believe the spin that we put on the whole thing was that Pappy's bedtime is shorter than Mike Flood's. Like Mike Flood has a longer bedtime than Pappy.
Happy birthday, Mike Flood.
Happy birthday, Mike.
Birthday, Mike Flood. So then the thing is that Asher wanted a pet. Asher wanted a little dog to have while we waited out the whole hour. And so Mr. Bob came over in something, and we murdered him, and we kept his pod. Logi was on the pod. We had like every small tackle on him, just holding him, just being a little pet. And then the next thing you know, this little horde newbie shows up in a T1 frigate that we just, annihilate. And he convos Asher, and he goes, "Why you gotta be mean to new players, man?" And Asher was just laughing. So Asher's backup was like, let's invite him into the fleet. So we invite this horde newbie into fleet as a joke. And the first thing he says in fleet chat is, "Please invite me to Imperium. Horde sucks."
And someone did.
And we did. Someone invited him to an Imperium Corp, and he fucking joined Imperium in the middle of that fleet.
That's how easy it is to get a spy in Goonstorm, guys. Hashtag be adorable.
And we wonder why Tony just has his head in his hands half the time. Jesus, it's you people.
I didn't invite him. Yeah. Like we get it all the time of just people. Now, is Imperium for everybody? No, not everybody's gonna get along. Some people have big egos. Some people don't like the way people talk with each other, and that's fine. Shit happens. But the amount of horror stories we hear from the opposing side about like the shit they have to go through, and that
I'm sure they hear those stories about us.
They hear about someone called me an asshole, and I didn't like it. Like that's what they get from us.
Not even. I'm sure they do get horror stories. I mean, I think Pittsburgh is still salty over getting told don't break diplomatic agreements, and then he does it, and then gets kicked. I'm sure he's still salty, and I'm sure he's still spreading shit stories about it.
Yeah, but that's not really a horror story. That's just him being a dumbass and getting slapped on the wrist for doing something he shouldn't have.
But ultimately, like, yeah, it's really weird to be in the Imperium and contemplate not being there anymore. For me, I don't know about the rest of you, but
I don't know what
I
I
don't
would
even
do.
know where
the
I'd go.
community here, like
If I
you know,
wasn't, if the Imperium wasn't a thing anymore, I would quit the game. I wouldn't know where else to go. I mean, Test are idiots. Horde is just, it's fucking Horde. I'd maybe, at best, I'd go to like somewhere like Snuffed Out, and fucking do
I
cap
couldn't be with
drops.
Snuff.
Good lord, Mifune.
Well, first
if
you gotta
I
get into Snuffed Out.
yeah,
We'll all
Just-
just go join your Shukar and it'll be fine.
lol.
I've played a
Find
lot
some
of
high
space
sec
games,
corp
or
to
a lot of.
destroy.
I played a lot of multiplayer games over the years, and I can honestly say that this is the best social group. This is the best group of people that I've ever played with.
Everybody's got to find that
It's pretty
the
fucking
group,
gay,
and
Greg, I'm not
you
gonna
may
lie.
not, but it is pretty gay.
No,
But,
it's true though,
okay.
man. I
So-
don't say things I don't mean.
As a
Well, I love you, Greg.
homosexual man, that was pretty gay.
So,
Well,
why am
partially
I blanking today?
homosexual, but you get it.
Why am I blanking today? Okay, so we had so much today. So, like, while we can keep talking about this, let's get to the other topics in case like shit goes down, and then we can circle back
Sounds good.
if we want. So the other big things are actually CCP news. We've had, I don't know, CCP decided to like bloop bloop drop a bunch of things in our lap today. We had
I think we have to before we drop into what's dropped in our lap today. I think we have.
Oh,
to
you
talk
want a
about
breaking news?
the patch? No, we have to like at least introduce it.
What, the
you know,
winter one?
No, CCP did a patch on Tuesday.
With the
Yeah.
drones?
The CCP
So-
did a patch on Tuesday that was kind of bad.
So
Is
they
anybody
did
gonna
a patch.
argue with that?
Hold on, we're not.
What do you mean?
Like-
So
Everyone
CCP
fucking
did a
knows.
patch. Okay, anyways, so CCP, not for everybody, because apparently Mifune
Jesus,
doesn't
do you-
read.
Do
Okay?
you not talk show, Ragnar? You introduce your topic before you shit all over it. Fuck's sake.
Yeah, we gotta lead these people, and not everybody reads. So CCP did a patch where they were gonna chain drone aggro on NPCs so that you had to tell them to go shoot things, which was gonna basically destroy multi-boxing and passive ratting with drones. Okay. And then they also had the jump clone changes for the home system.
Medical
which-
clone changes.
Medical clone. Yeah. That didn't really bother me that much, but I get it. So today,
That was a weird change. There was also
it was kind of a weird choice.
There was
There
also
were
a
other
few other
things.
bits that they did. They introduced a new implant set. There's the whole
Yep.
winter event
The
thing that we're going
Rapture.
to touch on later. They did a couple of tweaks to the ADM system stuff, but nobody's quite sure where that's going to land
conveniently.
just yet.
Oh, they added
Um,
mining sites to multiple places. They add the
Yeah.
DBS to low
That
sec.
guaranteed
Like there was a lot,
anomaly
a lot of like.
that isn't worth mining. I think you'd have something to say about that, Dawn. Actually, that guaranteed mining
Oh my
anomaly that
god!
isn't
Like
worth mining.
I saw the numbers, and I wanted to cry. So basically, CCP is just making sure that Pappy has an easier time holding systems than we did. Like you do, because it's great. But the biggest thing is the drone changes, because that won't take that long. So basically, the idea was that the drones wouldn't auto aggro from you getting shot. You would have to tell them to shoot rats, which we were all like, this kind of sucks, but we get it. Is this like how it should have always been? Maybe, maybe not. But the issue is the best we can guess is they flipped a switch in the drone coding and didn't think or test anything because it broke everything about the drones when it came to NPCs. If you shot the drone, or if you shot a target, the drones wouldn't attack. If the drones got shot by the target, they wouldn't attack. If you target painted, your assisted drones just didn't work at all. Like there were so many code issues with these drones. And people were reporting there were at least 6 threads in like maybe 3 hours being like, I'm trying to like use my ships and I rat in 4 nesters and I usually use a target painter to trigger all the drones and now none of them are working. What do I do?
I mean, please CCP my PvP drone bunny.
Yeah, I don't even know if that was working quite right. Because like that's the thing is like I remember I was doing a mission in HiSec and I put my drones out, Didn't even think about it, and just kept ratting, going to the site, killed everything, and then like at some point I was like, wait, my drones weren't moving the entire time, and I was using a target painter and missiles and everything like that. They weren't doing it. I had to physically tell them to go attack. I just pulled them in. I said, these are a waste of time. I don't have time to sit there and tell them to attack every fucking rat.
Wasn't that the whole point of a patch, that you had to like actually press F occasionally to get them to attack?
Yeah. Well, no, like, so normally, like, from how they worded it, it sounded like it would only happen if you didn't do anything to tell them to shoot the rats. They wouldn't do it.
Basically,
but when you use a target painter,
yeah, the point was that if you were being targeted by NPCs, the drones wouldn't auto-aggress on the NPCs. You had to do something to get the drones to aggress. So, press F, drop a target painter, drop a tracking disruptor, launch a missile, whatever.
Something that was aggressive.
That was the wording that was intended. And turned out, no, you had to press F on literally everything. And it wasn't just NPCs, it was like other players, it was, hey, assign your drones to somebody, and like even they can't activate your drone. That kind of bullshit. So CCP are completely rolling that shit back at some point
2 days.
in the future.
they made it 2 days. They're like, all right.
No,
the next patch.
They haven't announced when that's going to happen.
No, they said the next patch.
Well, yeah, but the next patch is... We don't know when the next patch is, Dawn. Like, they may not have a patch today. Like, patches on a Friday are bad, and you would hope they'd have learned that by now.
We are on the cusp of having a patch.
So that was the drones, and then the medical clone.
While we're on the topic of drones, honestly, before we go there, while we're on the topic of drones, I do just want to say massive shout out to Dunk Dinkle who fucking did it.
Yeah, that was great.
Massive shout out to Dunk Dinkle who did it after however many years. T2 salvage drones and Dunk faction salvage drones are in the game. They can be used. You can buy the skill books directly from your player character, which is the first time you've been able to only buy skill books directly from the character. And Dunk's campaigning fucking worked out. We have Tech 2 salvage drones for one.
Wait, is that why they're named Dunks? That's hilarious.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's
they
literally
named
it.
After him.
Also, somebody in Twitch chat saying "rip to the period basis."
I think it's dying right now.
That's the Higgs Cube star.
Is
dying
Higgs
right now,
actually dying?
Apparently.
Yeah.
Well, rip.
I feel like we could have defended it, but I don't know if it was worth it.
When did we get a Keep Star in Hicks?
We've had one there for a long time.
2018 or so, Greg.
Yeah, it's been there for a while.
I remember that one very well because we didn't drop that.
So it's not really ours then.
I mean, it's ours in just the same way as the J5A Keep Star was ours.
Wasn't it dropped literally so that people could go crab in their supers and period basis after the first routing change or something like that?
Mifune, that's been
it's just always been there for staging purposes, for locust fleets and such.
It's more that it was suggested for that crabbing shit when we did that.
Yeah, it's been there for longer than you guys remember, apparently.
How many keep stars do we have? I think it's like 60 something in Delve.
No, it's not.
It's not 60.
The last count that I remember was 58 across all 4 regions.
I don't know.
Billy says it's 46, so I want to know where those 12 went missing.
Yeah, but do we have more keep stars than Mag Carriers has Wibbons? That's the real question.
Yes, we do.
We certainly do now, after the abortion.
I've pretty much told everyone that I don't really pay attention to how many keep stars we have until we hit keep star number 69, and then I will literally donate every last ISK I have to be able to name it for myself.
Well, you wouldn't be able to because Jay was going to do it, so Jay had a keep star ready to go.
Keep star number 69 is going to be the one where I actually start
Mifune, you can't afford it.
No, I know I can't afford it.
You can't even get a Titan. You don't even have a Titan. I offered to pay cash to name a
I
Keepstar,
have-
and I was told no.
I actually have a borrowed Titan. Like, I actually got someone to donate to the Mifune Titan Fund, so blessed be
Oh,
he
that's
and Theta.
right. That was new.
Blessed be he and Theta who donated me his extra Titan for the durientation of the war, which is
With the what,
fantastic.
sorry?
The durian
No,
invasion.
What kind of word is
They're-
that, dude?
Mifune, please, actual words on a talk show, alright? Try and take this at least a little bit seriously. Holy shit.
That was great. Duration of the war. Yeah, so
Alright, so Mifune
Okay, so
is
for those of you who aren't aware-
Mifune is trying to do something to a durian fruit.
Can you try
and,
Ryak?
Yes.
like,
yeah, Ryak can come down.
This
fine.
message has been
Wow.
brought
Yeah,
to you by
so-
Stroke and
Mifune. Stroke out with bringing Ryak down. Thank you.
yeah.
So yeah, no, it was fucking like I saw that it was after the show. It was literally after the show last week,
Yeah.
and somebody decided it was a good idea to let Mifune borrow his Titan.
His extra
for the rest of the
Titan.
war.
His extra Titan, mind you.
So here we are. Mifune does have a Titan. It is pretty. It's good, you know. So
I want to
Okay.
kill it
Named it
myself.
Mifune?
hi, Ryak.
What's up,
Hey,
Ryak?
Ryak.
I'm dead.
Okay.
are you
So
in a
what is
Anyways,
Kickstarter, perhaps?
Is it
so about-
Ragnarok?
No, it's an Avatar.
Oh, I was about to say I'd just kill it because it'd be funny and give the person back my rag instead, but no.
It-
okay.
You know what? To answer the question in the chat, sadly, it was not Clatton. I haven't spoken to Clatton in, God, 8 to 10 months. I haven't seen him in a while. It's been a while. But no, it wasn't Clatton. It was a
I
thankful
remember when
person in
Clatton
Theta.
used to be in Sunderland, didn't it?
Durientation.
Have you named your
Durientation.
Titan, Mifune?
Can
The
it be
Tit-
Durientation? Please name it that.
No, the Titan has already been named by its owner, and I have been asked to keep it as the name of erectile dysfunction, and it will stay as that name for all of time.
Oh yeah, you don't rename
You only
shit.
borrowed the Titan. You're gonna give it back, right?
I will be giving it back.
I
when
mean,
he
if this war
requests
ever
it.
ends.
Like, dude's suggesting that this name is going to be the Titan's name for all of eternity. He's only borrowed the thing. He's already laying claim to it for all of eternity. Like, God.
So, okay. So, medical clone changes. Back on track. I knew we were going to be ADD tonight,
I mean,
but back on track.
can I sidetrack you real quick again for
Oh
a
my
Nyx
God.
that was killed
For
by
what?
Init, along
Was that
with,
killed tonight?
Skillful
'Cause
Farmers and
they've-
stuff.
Did they kill it tonight? 'Cause-
Yeah,
Yeah.
it did. It went down.
Oh,
well,
sweet.
not tonight.
Let me see. 12. No,
Like
I mean
3
that's
days
the
ago.
that's the big
Wait.
drop they had on the move up
That's-
thing, right?
That's days ago. Why is somebody coming at us with like days old kill mail?
I mean, don't get me wrong here. This was a really, really cool. So Siberian Squad was moving supers around downtime, and Dark Shines or Panda, one of the two, somebody really important over there was like, "Hey, we're gonna take advantage of this," and like murdered 2 Hells, a Nyx, it looks like an Ark, a Rorqual that was unfit, everything inside them, which was a lot of ships actually, and basically they pounced on a move up and they would have killed a Hell, but downtime hit, so it saved him. But
Newsline's
I guess
all right. Newsline's asking it because we haven't answered the question of are we working with simple farmers now? Init and farmers killed and Nyx together.
I don't think
I'm
in
going to
any
refer you
official
back
way
to
we're
the
working with them.
forums. Go
I
ahead
think
and read
it
the
might have been an
forums.
opportunity.
Yeah.
That information, if it's available, will be on the forums, and you can go ahead and read it in probably the policies subs forum. You know, that wonderful place where all of our policies and all of our rules are listed.
Well, it's an Init thing, so you know it may not be on there. But who knows? It seems like we did maybe at least for that particular point of opportunity use each other to achieve the goal, which is great. Okay, anyway, sidetrack back to medical clones, which is so exciting to know. But I didn't think this was like a big issue, but I guess people were really, really, really upset that they couldn't keep their medical clone in a station that didn't have a cloning bay. I just kind of thought that's how that worked.
So
That's
here's
only
the
been a thing
thing.
for a few years.
It looks like on the surface of it when you're trying to set a medical clone there, if it doesn't have a clone bay, it looks like you can't. Like you click on the clone bay and it won't let you do it through that. What you have to do is right click on the station name in the top left and set home station that way. And it's almost like it almost seems like an exploit to do it that way. I'm not saying it is, but it feels like one when you do it.
I think my biggest issue with this change, because I will say this is only like a 4.5 year old change. I do remember Eve before this was a thing, and you could only set your medical clone in stations that had clone bays. Unfortunately, basically every station had a clone bay back then, and then they flipped it around. So yeah, right clicking on the station name and then setting your home station was a bit weird. But the way CCP presented it in the patch notes, which was, as I scroll down towards defect fixes, or sorry, was it a defect fix or was it a user interface?
It was a bug thing where there's like it should not allow you to
Yes.
do this. Was that basically the wording?
Gameplay defect fixes. Fixed an issue where players could install a medical clone in a station or structure without an active clone bay service. Now, we're talking about 4.5 years of this being standard practice at minimum. CCP turning around and now saying 4.5 years later that this is a gameplay defect that they've fixed
They've probably only just noticed.
is just like, we have entire generations of players. I've had this conversation with a couple of CSMs in the past where, we talk about what classifies a veteran player. And it turns out, by and large, with CCP's metric, if you've been playing Eve for more than a year to a year and a half, you're what they actually classify as a veteran player. So we have numerous generations of veteran players that have never known Eve in any different way. This has been just their Eve experience. So for CCP to then say, hey, this is a gameplay defect that we needed to fix for all of these players who've never known Eve to be completely different. It's just, that was my biggest issue with it. At the end of the day, sure.
I just find it funny that they, after 2 days, they reverted that as well. They're like, we're gonna fix this right now because people are complaining too much. I don't know why people are complaining, but
I think one of the biggest complaints is that people used the feature as a way to set their home station as Jita 4.4.
Yeah, Jita doesn't have a clone bay.
And it does, and Jita 4.4
which is the dumbest thing.
Doesn't have a clone bay.
Just add one.
And that's what
add one.
People from gankers to day traders alike, everybody.
Just
what?
No ganker. No sensible ganker is gonna be going ahead and dropping
a clone in
G444.
But general Jita traders, etc., have plagued Reddit with bring us the clone bay. And to me it makes sense. You renovate Jita 4.4, but you don't
do it then?
Add a clone bay. So I have to set my my Jita his medical clone is set to Jita 4.5 because 4.5 is a clone bay, which is less than an AU away from 4.4, the station. Or 4.4 business. That's the one I'm thinking of. 4.4 business, the one that's right next to the main trading hub of 4.4.
Yeah, it's on grid, I think, right?
Yeah, it's on grid.
Can I just ask, Mifune?
Yeah.
Real quick. You're talking about having a clone stashed in 4.4 business station. Why do you not have a Jita 4 Caldari Assembly alt to deal with all of your Jita shit for you.
Oh, I have an alt for that. I have a Jita alt, but from things like burn Jita to using my Jita trading alt to slightly do some ganking activities here and there, throughout the years, I've had that clone base set right there for that character, even though like nowadays he never leaves out of 4/4. In the past, he that character has left 4/4 for other reasons, but like it really should have a medical clone bay on 4/4.
GB, as far as I'm aware, it didn't break jump cloning out of anywhere. It was literally just a huge community backlash over the fact that, hey, we've been able to do this for like 4.5 years, and it's incredibly
we don't want
useful.
it to change.
Well, I mean, like, it's incredibly useful for random deployments, right? There's one NPC station in the system that you've deployed to, and it doesn't have a clone bay, but you've deployed to that system for specifically capital jump ranges, or Blops jump ranges, or even just the number of other systems that it can provide you access to go and harass other players, right? Like, there are so many different issues that could arise from, hey, this one system doesn't have a clone bay, but we wanted to deploy there, but now we can't. And that's just because CCP decided it couldn't have a clone bay in an NPC station. I mean, yeah, you can drop a Fortizar and then pay for the clone bay.
Yeah, but you gotta be able to defend it.
Sure, like, not a big deal. I could sound like a poor, but then there's also, you've got to consider the smaller groups. As much as everyone yells about how we might want to think about the benefit to
The little
smaller
guy.
groups and the little guy, and hey, it's such a false dichotomy because we're arguing in our own benefit at the same time as suggesting it's for the little guy. The little guy will fucking benefit. We'll benefit, sure, but we'll adapt and overcome no matter what. We're big enough, we have enough brain. The smaller groups might actually be thinking, can we drop a Fortizar for our capitals with a clone bay and afford to defend that shit? Afford to forward deploy in that aggressive manner. And, a lot of those groups that consider themselves to be smaller will listen to this and say, oh my god, he thinks we're that poor. But,
Oh.
the 50-man groups probably are trying to figure out where they put their Fortizars to have the best benefit. Do they drop it early in their campaign to take some Sov, or do they drop it once they've taken the Sov and all the rest of it,
Well, let's talk about some of the other changes in there, because I did want to touch on it, but I can only stand talking about clone base for so long.
Sorry.
No, you're fine. So the other things that I found very interesting, very like reactionary / nefarious almost. CCP has added a ore anomaly to every system in the game, and subsystems get 2, which are guaranteed Arcanor, Arcanor Bistot, or Jaspit. It was Jaspit for the low sec
just
stuff.
Arcanor Bistot in Northern, and yeah, Jaspit as well.
No, the low sec has Jaspit now too.
The low
Guaranteed.
sec might, but the patch notes from the original patch notes from Tuesday are just Arcanor and Bistot in nullsec.
Well, no, they were also talking about adding a Jaspit spot to each low sec system.
Yeah, but who cares about that?
I know, but anyway.
Sorry, let me read you the actual patch notes. Added guaranteed anomaly containing Arcanor and Bistot to all nullsec systems. Added an extra guaranteed anomaly containing Arcanor and Bistot for systems with TrueSec between 0.0 and -0.5. Added guaranteed anomaly containing Jaspit to all low-sec systems.
See, I'm not crazy. Anyways, so, and then they also added in the same patch that Getting to ADM 1 will be easier now, and keeping your ADM for 1 for mining or military will be easier now, which is super helpful now that Pappy's taken like half a delve. They'll be able to hold it a lot easier than anything we could. This is a very convenient change. Thank you, CCP. I'm glad you fucking did this now.
I mean, I saw pictures of this anomaly. I've not been in it, but I saw pictures that suggest it had like a dozen turrets that you have to kill before you can go mining the
and
1KM3 asteroids.
The rocks are so pathetic. They're so tiny.
It's not even worth doing, is it?
No, it's not. Like so screenshots posted of these guaranteed anomalies, which spawn every 4 hours. Might add here, so they do come back better than the belts, and I don't think the NPCs go in and mine them, so you can at least get something, out of the to mine. But the rocks in those systems or in those sites are so tiny. Like it's like I think the biggest rock I saw was 1800 Arcanor.
So, as somebody suggested, before these, you could only drop an Athenor moon mine. Just to ask a question of you, Dawn, there. Is it actually
Not like I don't know
better
anything about
to
it.
drop an Athenor and moon mine than try and run these anomalies?
So it depends. It really depends on the system. So like to give you an idea, one SMEB has 5 moons. That's it. And other systems like Indelve have like 30. So it depends on how often you can frack those at big enough rocks to keep your ADMs up, and if you can keep people mining in there constantly. Now there are like one SMEB. This probably would benefit one SMEB to have, because it only has 2 belts in the entire system. So getting enough ore, if you don't start that chain, you won't ever have enough ore to get it up, to get the ADM 1 to get the other belts to spawn. So for some systems, like when they're adding the extra ones, the 2 belts in there, it's actually pretty useful. But if you're talking about like S-Tech 6, E-Tech V, things like that have really a lot of moons and a lot of sites, you're honestly better off just putting some Athenors down. But now you got to think about the cost, because how much is an Athenor to put down now? It's like what, 500-600 mil just for the building, and then you have to have the core, which is also a couple hundred mil, and then you need the fuel blocks to start the damn thing and the drill to start the damn thing. It's almost 2-3 billion now to get an
Probably
Athenor down.
1.5.
I don't know. Math.
Probably 1.5 to
but it's a
drop
lot.
it, I would think. Ragnar could
And
give
then
us a better answer if he weren't muted.
No, he doesn't know anything. And then and so now you've got to put an Athenor down, and now you've got to decide: do I wait 1 week and just spawn it every week and hope I get enough rocks to get up ADM 1 and that somebody throughout the rest of the week will keep it going? Or do I let it run for 30, 40, 50, 56 days and have it be a huge batch? And then you're guaranteed to get to at least 3, 4, 5, depending upon kind of where you start at. Are you going to hold that system that long? Are you going to hold the space that long? There's a lot of things going in. So these belts do have a place at a point, especially in war. But when we're not at war, they're going to mean absolutely nothing.
All right. So I do have another question then. And I know that Ardust in Twitch chat just doesn't want to hear from me, and that's, fine, whatever, dude, you do you.
Which one's whining?
Nobody's whining. He just doesn't want to hear from me. It's fine.
Is that our debt? No, it's not our devs, is it?
Ardust. Ardust Eve, but, we don't want to give him too much recognition. So, obviously, also, we've kind of seen from various sources that CCP Rotati, who was previously lead producer of the EVA ecosystem team, is now director of product for EVE Online. Now, CCP Rotati was directly leading these ecosystem changes, the mining changes, the ratting changes, the ESS changes, and he's been on Twitch streams where he said that, the carrot is coming.
Is him getting promoted to carrot?
Do we think, with his change of role, that we're gonna see a carrot coming to Eve in the form of mining belts or ratting anomalies or some other like positive tweak? Or do we think
gonna ask.
that like this all these ecosystem changes? This is a question for everyone on the channel, but do we think all of these ecosystem changes are gonna do what CCP has done in the past and get put on a back burner? I'm curious as to what people think.
Yeah. Greg, what would you consider a carrot at this point?
I
Greg,
don't know if
Well,
Greg's
anything,
alive.
it's
anything?
it's just I think we're at the point where, if they start listening to what we're saying, to what we're asking for.
I feel like no matter what CCP does, I feel like that in the long run, we all understand why they're changing what they're changing, and what they are doing. For like what the past year since these changes have been going on. I feel like though what makes everybody so upset is that we don't know what's coming next. Is that, CCP goes, okay, well, we're going to nerf mining so you can't mine anymore. Okay, we're going to nerf ratting so you can't rat anymore. Okay, we're going to nerf minerals that you get from mining so that you can't build your ships and the economy gets screwed up. So then us as the player base are left with, well, what's next, CCP? How am I going to flex my accounts? I think that's just why everyone's been so upset for the past year, and I feel like my carrot would be CCP giving some clarity. Like CCP giving buffs to something. It doesn't necessarily have to be my mining or my ratting. Just give a buff to something that is some kind of guidance to saying this is how you can make money now.
I feel like that destroying people's way of making money without providing something that's similar but maybe not as quote unquote game breaking is the pitfall here, because I've been thinking about it this week, and for the past 2 to 3 weeks I have not logged in to do PvE in Eve other than the occasional high sec mining or high sec mission running for my for what I do, and that's been like a couple nights out of the week at most. The rest have been strictly for fleets, and when there's no fleets, I log everything out because what's the fucking point of having them in? And I go play RimWorld or something else.
Where are you at on this, Doc?
In terms of logging in for PvE,
He makes guns.
yeah, I've been logging in to build stuff and chat to people and do a bit of PvP here and there. Just general stuff, but I've definitely not been doing as much like undocked manual labor crabbing as I used to.
So what carrot do you need, Doc, specifically, to get you playing the PvE game again?
I mean, it would be nice to be able to like sit my Rorqual out in an anomaly. I mean, it's not something that I'm overly concerned about, but it's something I never really got to experience that much. So it'd be nice to try a bit of that, but you know.
Yeah, I
I
don't want to
mean,
get into the whole Rorqual thing. Like, I've never agreed with Rorquals becoming what they were,
yeah,
but
well,
at the
I
same
still love
time,
them, so.
at the same
Yeah, I
time, they
mean,
needed to be better than they were. Like CCP had a good intention going into that patch, and they
I'm
just
not
never made it work.
overly, I'm not overly concerned about them having the yield that they used to or anything like that. I'd rather they nerfed the yield, but still made it possible to like have it sit there for a while, rather than the rocks being tiny. Like I'd rather have slower mining and bigger rocks, if that makes sense.
I just, as I said, like, unfortunately, I mean, the war has also played a part in this too. Like, so there's two things going on here, but the fact that I'm not motivated, like what I like to do to make money in this game, I can't do. So I've tried to look at alternative options of doing either something similar to what I like to do, and it is so much of a fucking hassle. And it's not because of Pappy per se either. It's not because of the war on that one. It's like, okay, well, the money is in doing this particular activity. Let's try to do it. I have 3 characters that can all do it. And guess what? It's so much of a fucking hassle.
Dawn,
It's not worth it.
Dawn, you've just been invited to join high-sec incursion running.
See,
I used to do
Nice.
it, so I could. I've got 3
I've-
Logi pilots.
Oh god.
I've done high-sec incursion
Where-
running
where
on my
am I invited?
main. Like,
Adam,
you know, you could join TDF and run incursions with them.
Oh, Denvy wants to run incursions. No, sorry, sweetie. I find incursion FCs usually got sticks up their butt, so.
How about fuck you, Dawn?
See?
We've talked about it before.
I
don't
used
get to talk in
I
my
used
fleet,
to
I'm
run
not
the entire
interested.
org. Like, fuck off.
Yeah, well, okay. Well, you were not running it when I was in it. It was that guy with an M for a name who wanted to be a jackass.
Well, we're not
Whatever his
gonna
name was.
chat shit about people, but anyway, don't chat shit about the incursion FCs, Dawn. Like, you just hurt my feeling.
The only one that I would run with, as I said, I've never run with you as an FC, so you're not included in this. But the only one that I know of that I will run with is Pithos. That's it, because he lets us talk and shoot the shit and doesn't get all huffy puffy about call out the Nyarjas or Najari things or whatever it is. Like, dear Lord, people, we know. Okay, it's like the 30th site we've done. We know. Logi already knows. You don't need to tell us. We got this. We're not dumb.
Pithos
So.
has it down to like a science where like you get into the site and he just like rattles off his little like thing, and then it's just open comms, and if anything happens then he'll like yell or whatever, but it's really chill.
I had a thing that I used to like doing whenever like other people were FCing and I was still doing incursions, because I have a Thanatos and I still own this Thanatos that is legitimately like super capital fit. It's got faction DCU, like A-type enams, the lot. And what I would do is I'd just run the site without saying anything and wait for the rats to switch to me. And I'd start taking damage through my shields and just wait till somebody noticed. And then I'd start taking damage through my armor and not say anything and wait until somebody yelled at me. And if nobody yelled at me, by the time I hit about like
whoa,
50% armor, I'd broadcast for reps. But invariably, somebody would like notice early and start yelling at me for the fact that I was just ignoring my capital.
Hold on.
I will say I learned the most about being a Logi pilot from incursions, because you're right, like some people are just stupid and just don't say anything, so you got to learn how to follow lasers and know who's the actual target. And I apply that skill to regular fleets, because there's so many times where the Logis are in my fleet are like, we don't know who the main target is, and I'm like, look with your eyeballs. Just
no.
Yeah,
so
but no one
you can see who's getting shot.
No one turns lasers and shit on because it's
I do.
Dawn,
it's important
Dawn,
for Logis. That's important.
Potato mode.
I'm potato, but I still have lasers.
I don't want to talk about potato mode and lasers, because if you optimize it for memory, it still puts the textures in low resolution, but it keeps all the lasers and shit, and it works perfectly fine.
Yeah, I go full potato, and I get to still have my bullets and target painters and all that stuff. I've turned off like explosions, but like I need to know who's getting shot, because there's times, and you know what, CCP, here's my like thing for my wish list for Christmas is if you made a rep this person button that a Logi anchor could push and tell the Logi wing to rep this person, because the only thing I got is target, and I gotta hope the DPS ain't stupid enough to shoot him.
No, that's a cool idea, actually. I've never heard
Why
that
don't we
idea
have
before.
this?
That's a really
It'd be amazing.
cool idea.
And it's
love
so
that
easy.
idea.
Literally just add one more target, one more thing to the broadcast window. You don't even have to change the coding on anything. Just make this as the words and add it to the list, and we can color code it how we want. And the DPS can take it off their broadcast hit settings.
Broadcast target, broadcast align, broadcast warp to, broadcast
broadcast
jump
rep.
through. They're well, no, but what I'm saying is, like, in terms of stuff that an FC would push. In terms of stuff that an FC would push, you've got broadcast warp to, broadcast align to, broadcast jump through, broadcast shoot, and there's another one. But players can ignore those broadcasts as they come through. So
yeah,
if
they can
CCP
choose what they want.
Broadcast rep this person rather than it being a local broadcast from the person who needs to be repped. From a logi anchor, as you say, any DPS pilots could ignore that broadcast.
Could just turn it off.
FCs could. Well, FCs probably wouldn't turn off the broadcast, but they could. That's a really cool idea.
I know, right? But no, I have to follow laser beams. And like, there have been times where I've saved people because I'm like, Logis rep this person. And it would be so convenient for repping people not in your own fleet. Because there have been many times where like we've got 2 or 3 fleets on the grid, right? And my fleet isn't getting shot. So we're all sitting there with our hands or dick on our hands, right? But the initiative Ishtar fleet is within range, and I can see they're getting shot. So I've had to sit there and be like, rep blah blah blah's name, and then someone else in the group will like look up the character and link their name real quick for me, and then we'll rep them and we'll save them. That's how you can get fleet interaction as well between multiple fleets.
Hell, like say you've got a battleship fleet with faxes, battleship fleet drops 3 faxes and is playing around in that range, and then you've got a support fleet of whatever, and one of the battleships needs reps, and the faxes are all decycling their reps, but they can't get there fast enough. Whack the logi reps over and kind of try and hold it at least until the faxes can land. Like,
I know, like, it's just that there's a never-ending like use for this skill thing, and we don't have it. So like, I've just never like pushed it, but like, if we want to campaign on this, I'm gonna make Brisk make this his campaign.
Oh my god! Wait, Don,
or whoever's in the CSM next.
Don Kappa just said this in the fleet chat. Imagine if they added in the broadcast as rep this person, and instead of having half DPS, half Logi in the fleet, you had an entire separate fleet full
you're
of
an
Logi.
idiot. You're right.
That
So
would be too difficult.
what he's saying is you just form a fleet of Logi and use the broadcast target broadcast.
It doesn't work.
Because it's not fast enough. Because by the time they're getting shot, you're probably gonna die.
I know it doesn't work, but that's what this guy was saying, and Mifune thought it was like something way different.
It's basically like a Rendus forming a fleet, and then me running a fleet, and then me yelling at Rendus over our global comms channel, hey Rendus, rep this person, and Rendus has to take another 5 seconds to find the person in his fucking target list because it's gonna be a friendly. But it's going to be a friendly in, like, an Eagle, and we've got 2 Eagle fleets on grid. So he's got about, 350 Eagles to sort through.
I don't know why this isn't an option.
You need the broadcast to make it so easy for people who are actually paying attention to the Logi situation, which is what a Logi anchor is supposed to do. They pay attention to the Logi situation, they coordinate the Logi, they take that off the FC's hands entirely, and it's just nice.
Honestly, one thing we've not actually talked about yet is the fleet size being at 256, I think it is.
That is such a weird number, too.
No, it's not a weird number. That's like a very common number.
I'll be right back.
But regardless of
the computing world,
regardless
very
of the
common,
significance of the number, it should be like fleets should be allowed to be bigger, if not like, dare I say, infinite.
A fleet should not be infinite.
No.
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 That'd be too overpowered.
No.
Docs, look at that kill mail that Parth just put in Corp.
You're gonna.
I hate to
Why,
eat and run,
hear from
guys,
me in
but I have
Discord.
to beg my leave.
Have fun, Greg.
So, anyways, have a good night, eh?
You can beg your leave.
All right,
we might
take care,
not give
guys.
you it.
FC, I've got real life stuff to do. Can I leave?
All right, take care, guys. Thanks everyone for showing up tonight.
Bye, Greg.
So, right, was there anything like I'm looking at that kill mail?
Do you want to give this
Was there
kill mail to the
anything
rest
you
of us at any
actually-
point?
Yeah, like
It's
link
a
it.
procurer that died to like a Titan and a carrier.
Link
No,
it
it's
in
a
the
procurer
Discord.
that
Okay,
died
really?
to 27
Now I want to see
Titans.
it.
No, yeah, link it in the Discord, right? Come on.
Link it in fucking Twitch chat now.
I can't link it in Twitch chat.
Yeah, that's why he's got to
Okay,
link it in
give it to
Discord.
one of us and we can link it in Twitch chat. Man, are you not subbed to INN?
Used to be. I don't know if I am anymore. Sorry.
Okay. What?
We're
Dawn,
talking
you've
about
got
apparently some kill
you've got a
mail.
new simp in the Twitch chat.
Oh yeah.
Oh, where? I like Sims.
Yeah, it's the guy who's been trying to get you to go join High Second Guns.
There, I just
well,
messaged
you know,
it to you, Mifune.
If Gunsor ever gets rid of me, know where I'm going.
Just extort him for this. And, like,
Exactly. I just have to
Alright,
join
so,
Spectre Fleet every now and then and be like,
hey-
I'm new. I'm a girl. Hi. That's
So
pretty much all I gotta
you-
do.
We wish we could get rid of you, Dawn. Like, all efforts just
Speak
seem
for
to
yourself.
fail, so we've given up.
So Parthenax
Say
Greybeard.
that.
Love you,
Parthenax
Dawn.
Greybeard getting murdered by two levies.
Like 27
Chimera.
Titans.
Why?
Don't like things that are not positive. You know this.
No. I need to ask why.
No.
Was he
Actually,
he was
two of them
in
are Diplo
Higgs.
Movement, by the way. What's the other stuff in the...
Yeah,
Oh.
2 of the 6 are Diplos now, Moomin. You're doing really well with the organizational chart.
it's okay, no one
Okay.
knows I'm a Diplo.
Wait, Moomin's here? Why isn't Moomin,
Moomin's
like,
in-
on the show?
He refuses to download Discord, so...
Moomin has been on
Moomin,
our
we
Discord.
need
Moomin
you.
is just, like, making an argument for argument's sake.
We need the legend Scout Moomin.
The myth of the legend.
Come
yeah.
on in here.
Get off your
Yeah.
high horse, Moomin. Get in here.
So, in the meantime, you know what? I did find something funny. I don't know if the rest of you saw it, but for this winter thing for this event they're doing with the winter stuff.
Oh, we finally talking about that.
Yeah, we'll get into it a little bit.
We're allowed to
listen,
talk about it now.
Listen, I will fucking rail this train wherever I fucking want it to go. So,
You rail whatever you want, but you can like you can't expect the rest of us to go along with it.
My response to that is not allowed on Twitch. Continue.
That's correct. So why am I blanking today?
Moomin has said he will be
Hold
on
on, I'm trying to
comms
do
once he
things.
builds a new computer. So
okay, that would be great.
we need to get.
You can use your phone.
We need to get Moomin a new computer, so it'll come on like all of the talk shows ever, right? That's how that works.
Moomin's PC fund, is it now? Donate to the Moomin PC fund?
People are more likely to donate
Don't
to
be dirty.
Moomin's than yours.
Hey, I've already had it.
So, anyways, the winter thing. There's special stuff in this winter stuff, right? Funny enough, I'm trying to get a full source, but according to Extra Squishy, who I do not like, but you know, whatever. There are special mining sites for this wintry stuff that only industrial ships can enter in. So boo-hoo on you fucking PvP bitches.
Here's a fun fact for you, Dawn.
Please, I love fun facts.
They only exist, these new mining sites, they only exist within volatile ice storms, which are the new like metal storms for the period of the thing.
So they affect 1% of the population?
Yeah, pretty much. But there will be filaments to take you into these storms if you so wish.
Sounds terrible.
No, that sounds like a great way if you're a PvP pilot to get to specific
Filament
locations
into
around Eve.
Hosek, yay!
No, they can't be in high
Hey.
because they're storms. They
Oh,
Yeah, the
have to
storm's
be.
only in
filament.
Nullsec.
I saw a filament that was named like Hosek filament or whatever for the ice storm.
I'm sure there are other filaments at the same time, but specifically, ice storm filaments should take you to systems with ice storms in them.
I'm gonna be.
I've seen an ice storm Hosek
So,
filament.
to be fair, I have when we were on the test server before the metaliminal storms hit Tranquility entirely, we did actually see a storm hit Head GP. And obviously, Head GP only
It'll
has
hit high sec stuff.
nullsec and
Peppers,
high sec.
yeah.
So, that probably is possible, but it's probably not the intention, I hope.
To be fair. So I just found it funny.
Fair, fuck
I know.
you
It's
all.
funny how we all say that. I just found it funny that there is a site specifically just for industrial, so you need to get your fucking battle badgers out or your skiffs if you want to fucking kill somebody in there. And I think that is hilarious because I just hate that like they've made these specialized ships that are fantastic to use for mining and stuff like that, but they're fucking pittance about defending themselves. But everybody and their mother seems to think that, well, tough shit, you should, I should be able to kill you just because you're a cute little badger of some kind.
Dawn here has forgotten about the battle procurer.
Oh no, I've taken a fleet of procurers out before.
No, Dawn. Apparently you've forgotten about the battle procurer because you're bitching about people not being able to come and shoot you.
I don't think Dawn's been on our gate camp where I bring out the salt mining boost porpoise.
We've taken Verkels to test space. Oh, that was funny. On Trash Talk Tuesday this week.
Right.
Side note. Billy was like, they took 80 capitals to Esoteria and just died. They could have used those for the sport. Bitch, that was literally 1.5 to 2 years ago. Those, I guarantee almost all those ships would have just died ratting. So, and it was about 110 capitals, might I add here.
Yeah. Good story.
Hey.
My point, the thing that I was trying to break in with was I'd actually been given a picture of the day 3 rewards for this, 13 days of whatever, by Symbiotes on Discord. I don't know if that's his actual in-game name.
I don't think it is, but continue.
Apparently, day 3's reward is specifically a high-sec ice storm filament that can transport 1 capsuleer and will only transport you to volatile ice storm high-sec space.
It's almost like I was right 2 minutes ago.
What sort of worthless filament is that? Just as a question. Really? Who wants this?
Remember. So I was actually talking with the guys about like the because at first we weren't sure about this ice thing. There was like kind of like a super low key Hobo League thing that they were adding like ice to storms, but they hadn't like there was no like details about it. But it's making more sense now. So originally it sounded like they were trying to add special ice to the metaliminal storms running around Eve, which they could do, I guess, would be an interesting thing to add. But my bitching was, do you know how fucking hard it is to move things in this goddamn game? You got to put a building down so you can put ships down. And then it takes almost a week just to online that, get the fuel, get everything, and then still be able to move your ships and stuff around space. Like, the amount of tedium in this game, I couldn't move a ship from one point of space to the other. Not because, like, players were camping me, but because literally the NPCs made it impossible for me to do this with my current skill levels on those characters. So my only option was to pay somebody to do it. Like, that's what kind of my biggest gripe right now is like, why is everything so hard for no reason. I should not be running into a trig system in a pipe system and not be able to have any choice about it. Like there's nothing I can do. There's no way to go
I've
around.
got a 2-word response to that question.
There's a fuck you.
EVE Online.
Yeah, I know. I know. But oh well. What else was in the updates this week? I mean, we've had a lot of stuff like I look forward to Test and Brave and all them going back to catch. I think it's hilarious that they're so threatened by initiative that they're going to go out there to like show them what's what. And then we've talked about a lot of the patch changes coming up. We were going to have a special guest tonight, but he had a Keep Star to go blow up, so we'll just have to wait for another day.
I mean,
It's usually how it goes.
That
do you
Keep
think
Star has
Horde-
just blown up, by the way.
Oh,
do you
that's
think
nice.
Horde might
We
have
could have streamed it.
the train of thought to be like, right, we're gonna headshot catch and go home.
I feel
Whatever
like
that
they're going to
means.
be there. My mouse dying? What is going on? Okay. I feel like they're going to move over there for about 2 weeks. And then when they don't get the fights they're looking for, they'll like fuck off. And then, we'll just keep pressuring them again and they'll just kind of keep going back and forth. But the strategy part of it is if someone is doing a jump clone deployment, there is a chance that they'll fuck up. That they won't set their jump clones correctly. They won't bring the right clone. They'll, maybe they jump clone one night and now there's a fleet back in Delve or vice versa. And they're like, you know what? I don't feel like doing that tonight. So, thank you, Pappy, for playing into exactly what we want.
I mean,
because
it happens even on our side. We do jump clone deployments and it doesn't work. It's why we switched to the SIG model. Because SIG
where if you want to deploy
dedicated deployment characters, and then you have dedicated home characters, and you just log off and log on with what you want. But
yeah,
you're absolutely right in terms of the morale situation and the engagement as well.
I mean, from what I can tell, because I've had conversations with line members of Pandemic Horde and NC Dot, they're so done with it. They're starting to get bored. From what I've been told, they're just like, yeah, like I'm not even logging into EVE that much anymore. I'm going to play Cyberpunk or I'm going to play this and that. And it's like, so are we. Like, I'm bored out of my mind. I've been playing Cyberpunk for the past 12 hours. But it's like Pandemic Horde, like I think Goblins last week.
I talked about it earlier. Like I'm literally just logging in for PvP and occasional PvE. I'm not out in space risking my ships every day like I was. Like I literally would be on for 6-7 hours every evening, just hanging out with my friends, available in space for somebody to kill or shoot my drones, or maybe I'll go kill them or something. I'm not doing that, and it's part Pappy and it's part CCP. But
I mean, yeah. Moomin says that this invasion is a joke and should have been done months ago. What do people think about that one? Should we have been done months ago? What's maintaining this conflict if it
the fact that they have 3 times our numbers? See, I don't know how to answer that because like they have 3 times their numbers. Even if one group said "fuck bitches, I'm leaving," the numbers are still really high.
I mean, debatable. Like if one group leaves,
it depends on the group. Let's be clear. It depends on the group. Random Pubby group number 85. No one's going to notice you left.
Random Pubby group number 85 is going to be insignificant because it's random Pubby group number 85.
But if let's say Brave actually left, that's potentially an entire fleet that we don't have to deal with. That would be huge.
I do want to real quick address our Wild Star in Twitch chat who's suggesting that you guys as the Imperium have, 1,700 structures still? And I do want to say, like, looking at 1DQ nowadays, it kind of feels that way.
Like, I have
no way it's 1,700.
Have you seen 7G and NDII? Have you been back there lately?
Yeah, I was in 7G.
They literally have an Athanor on every moon.
But yeah, but look, you just activate citadels in 1DQ, and you can't look left or right for them.
I'm sorry, OPSEC, I didn't realize.
Fucking 1DQ is just like all citadels all the time. Fucking
it's disgusting. I hate that system.
Trying to find the first Imperial Palace.
Oh no,
that's why they named it the way they did. It's at the top of the Citadel. It's right-click menu because of the naming nomenclature. You can just find it.
But I'm feeling lazy and try and find it on my overview, and it just doesn't.
Well, tough nuggies. It's usually the third keep star of the list.
Be naming nomenclature.
Whatever.
We did try and universalize that.
It's better than Duratination.
You mean Duriantation?
I don't want to hear.
Yeah, whatever he said. So, that actually reminds me of they did try to make a impromptu 1DQ hit this week, and we successfully defended. Watching it on stream, I feel like they really could have reffed the jump bridges, but they decided that they weren't going to get anything out of it doing it, so they figured they'd go home instead of just losing chips trying to ref these damn things. I kind of wish we had more citadels around the old grid to shoot more shit at. I know we've got some faction forts somewhere that we haven't put down yet. We should put them over there just to spite them.
No, fuck off.
What?
No. Stop.
More bombs lobbing at people would be great. No, I asked to have a fight this week, but no.
I mean,
I'm trying to think. I think they.
You talk about fights
Not
this
many.
week, but we've had GB Eve in Twitch chat suggesting that headshot was hilarious, and I don't think we've talked about that yet tonight.
Yeah, the headshot was kind of like, they formed up to defend the QY1E Keepstar dropping, which made sense. If they didn't form, there was always a chance we might go shoot it. But so they had to form, and they already had the people all formed up. Hold on, people messaging me. So they already had all their ships formed up, so they figured, why not try? And they went in, and they had like 4 fleets, I think, from what I saw on grid. 3 to 4 fleets.
So here's the thing: is that they had 3-ish fleets, and they brought in a 4th fleet towards the end. But basically, they tried to go for the iHub. We gained grid control. We got them off the iHub, and then after we got them off the iHub, they thought it would be a good idea to go for the Sinojammer. And they were going for the Sinojammer, and pretty much us as the Imperium were kind of deciding whether or not we wanted to commit caps to this fight or not. And as we were deciding that, Pappy was kind of weary about what they were doing, and so they were reffing the Sinojammer, and they realized that we had started to form caps. And when we started to form caps, they realized that they were going to get their subcaps trapped in 1DQ without being able to get back to T5Z because we were starting to Skynet towards the T5Z gate. So they dipped while they could.
I think is really
I
weird.
have a clarification real quick, Docs. Mifune, were they weary of what they were doing, or were they wary of what they were doing?
Look, I don't want to hear this grammar shit, alright?
That wasn't
no, I mean, it is
legit.
But
what
question.
I think was really weird is this statement from Redline in chat. He says the fight in 1DQ ended because Titans and Supers were being logged in and undocked without being pinged. Can someone explain to me what the fuck that is supposed to mean?
It's supposed to mean that we did not ping to we did not ping to the capital group and say everybody get in fleet under blank and get ready.
We didn't ping.
We didn't.
So
We, as
we
far as
ended
I
the fight
know, we
because
did not.
We
Titans
didn't ping.
undocked
You're going to
without
talk
being
about what
pinged?
pings we
What?
had, Mifune?
As far as I know, we did not,
No,
or
he's
at
just
least I
reading
haven't
it.
looked.
Like, try to understand the statement here. Like, read it in chat if you have to.
Yeah,
It
that's
makes
what I'm
no
trying
sense.
to. It doesn't make sense, but like what he's saying is that apparently we did not ping for a super fleet to be made, and people started
no,
undocking
Mifune,
their supers.
He says the fight ended because Titans and Supers were being logged in and undocked without being pinged. If it's our side doing that and we chose to end the fight because of it, that doesn't make that makes even less sense because we can't just sit here and be like, right, we're choosing to end the fight if they're attacking because they're just going to continue attacking. So it must have been their side, which means their Titans and Supers undocked without being pinged, but why would they end the fight because of that? Redline, can we get some clarification on this? Like, what do you actually mean?
I
And
just want to
that's
point
not
out
the
that
red line you think it is.
That's not the red line. Yeah.
I don't care what Redline it is. His name is Redline, and I'm confused.
Meanwhile, while we're waiting for that red line response, Moomin's suggesting that on the latest Trash Talk Tuesday, Billy admitted that he didn't have a plan or doesn't have a plan, and he only has ideas. Like, how do we feel about this? I mean, do any of you here feel like defensively we don't have a plan, we only have ideas?
For defensive stuff?
I feel like
Yeah,
No,
our plan is to kill you so you can kill our shit first.
I feel like the defense plan is more of just, okay, here's what Pappy possibly could do in the near future, and here's how we can prevent that. And then just kind of cock block them in every way, shape, and form.
Big Al 007 in Twitch chat. Do we really think that Villy is going to tell us that he has a plan?
He did drop how many capitals they still have in their cache.
No,
which,
no,
by the way, the number
actually,
is 400. So
I want to take that question.
you just got to get people
seriously.
talking.
Guys, what do you think the reaction is to Villy publicly saying that he doesn't have a plan? And do we think that Villy would actually say publicly that he has a plan for something? Well, what's the reaction here? Docs, you're a member of CD. As a completely, hypothetical question, what is the reaction to Villy telling somebody publicly that he doesn't have a plan? Completely
I don't even know
hypothetically.
where to start. I just don't know where to start
Well,
on that one.
I can answer a little bit from
completely hypothetically, Dawn. What's the answer?
So from knowing Villy as an FC and like a lot of the talk that we've had with other FCs who know him, Villy doesn't do anything without a plan, but when the plan doesn't go the way it's supposed to, he doesn't know what to do. So he's very methodical and thinks about a lot about his plan, but when wrenches get thrown in, he doesn't know how to react and things start going real bad real quick for him. So if he has a plan, like everything he does, he has a plan. So you can bank on that. But if you can throw him off his plan, you're like golden. That's his weakness. Some FCs are good at reacting to
then why
situations,
doesn't
but he is not.
Then why doesn't he make a plan for when he doesn't have a plan? Like
Because
Batman
he's not
does.
pro god.
Like, you just make a plan for when you don't have a plan. When if
Some,
that plan
I mean,
fails, you make a plan for that.
well, some people aren't necessarily very good at making more than one or two plans. I don't know. But that's, Billy's always known to be very methodical. He thinks about things a lot, but when shit doesn't go his way.
No, sorry, I'm looking at Twitch chat, and that's why I'm giggling there more than anything else. Apparently, we're a classroom full of 5-year-olds discussing quantum physics here.
I mean, to be fair, I'm not a strategist. I don't claim to be a strategist. I just go off of what, people tell me, and, and I'm a little parrot, over here, so it's fine.
Ravens are better at speaking than parrots. Is a note, Dawn.
Oh, okay. I was about to freak out for a second. I was
You know the guy that did that absolutely terrible Matani diss track is in our Twitch chat.
Is
Oh,
he?
that's
Is
nice.
he indeed?
Yeah, Dark
That's
Lord
nice.
Runner.
Welcome.
Oh, if I was the military director, it would go horribly because my plan is throw bodies at the wall till everything like stops moving one way or the other. That's my plan.
So, the plan that won us 4 keep star fights.
One's a relative term, but yes. We want our objective of we got the objective of destroying it. Was a good plan. But it was fun. I did it. I streamed 3 of those, I think. What am I blinking on? So Billy was asking Mad Cows of all people to like commit to this, and it was like fucking crazy. But they were asking, can we get the 1DQ1 iHub? I think anything's possible in this fucking game with enough numbers or the right circumstances for sure. Could they get the 1DQ1 iHub? Yes. Yes, they could.
Villy was asking Mad Cows specifically about what?
To
Because-
commit to saying that they could or could not ever get the 1DQ1 iHub. Because Mad Cows is like, I don't think you guys can win at all. And Billy's like, are you gonna commit to that? Are you gonna like put the money down on that? And Mad Cows was like, I don't know, I'm just a line member, guys.
Mad Cows has already been purged once. Like,
Did someone tell Billy that Mad Cows was a diplomat or some shit? Like,
No, they were just on the show talking. It's
By the
because
way-
they were Israel. There were like 3 Israel on talking
By the
mad
way,
shit, and it was
I
great.
heard you talking about Mad Cows, and I have to let you know, Mad Cows needs ISK. So if you could all donate to him, that'd be great.
Oh,
Thank you.
you are not going to suck up. You're never going to get your name changed, okay? You can suck up as much as you want. It's never
He
going to change,
already-
Ragnar.
Been
He already
changed on.
got
I'm just
his
saying
name
this because I'm a
changed.
genuinely nice person.
Kenneth came into the channel and had some sort of bleeding heart moment and changed his name back.
Is it still gamer word?
No.
No, it's Ragnar. Come
He
on,
changed
Don.
it to
Don't you ever pay
Oh,
attention?
okay. No, I don't pay attention to that. That channel's got so much yippity yappity going on that I'm going to mute it soon just because
Hey,
it's so yippity yappity.
Trottle is absolutely hilarious.
Well, you can. I don't mind Trottle, but like I have so much attention span for like jibber jabbering. So
Yeah, so make sure you donate to Mad Cows. He is in need of ISK. Thank you very much.
yeah, you all can
apart
donate
from
as
that
much as you
title
like.
spell. You know why Mad
Yeah,
Cows
I was-
needs this?
do not donate to Mad Cows. Nobody.
He said he's got
donates to Mad
130
Cows.
billion ISK.
You know why
Do-
Mad Cows
do-
needs this? It's because he's trying to sell that levy for 420 bill because he thinks it's funny. That's why he needs this.
No, Mad Cows is trying to like hoard ISK against the next time he gets blacklisted. That's what's going on there. He
I mean,
just wants to buy his way out again.
I mean, right now, like he already said, like he's like, I'm here to have fun. You know, there's some good people in Imperium, but he's not like rah goonies. So, like, and that's how all of his red is, which is fine. Like, you know, they can have their fun, and I surely hope that they fuck over if Tess does end up taking Del for a while. I really hope they continue to do what they did before, which was destroy everything, which is great.
I mean,
so
a lot of the old names have come back for this, and it's really good to see. To be fair, you know, it's not just the Israd guys. I mean, we had Kendar come back from his retirement.
Kendar is
in
hilarious.
Trigger Happy. Kendar's a lovely guy.
Did he
I
get
can't say enough.
divorced?
I don't know. I honestly, even if
I saw a
did,
lot
I
of comments about
wouldn't
him
speak to
being
that.
single. So
Wouldn't speak to that. But like Kendar is just a lovely guy, and to see him back from Trigger Happy is absolutely just fantastic.
if only we could get Trigger Happy to come down and
know,
help, or just like hit a
we've-
entity that would be nice to kill.
Along with that, you know, we've had so many people from old Goons come back, and you know, even Minna. You know, it was a couple months ago now, but even Minna with the random like $2.5
Here's $6
trillion value donation, you know, that's been fantastic to see. So I don't know. I suppose it circles back to the conversation we were having earlier about this general community. And hey, the the people who are playing Eve in this community are having some trouble for a while. You used to play Eve. Come back and see what you want. See if you can find something that engages you again. And that whole deal is just, people turn around and go, hey, I can't come back to play, but here, have some assets that I had lying around that I remembered the password for. It's just really cool to see in all of this shit. Old names coming back, new names still here, and even the old names who can't be here and be here regularly are still throwing shit at us.
It is
Speaking
nice,
of
for sure.
speaking of people that can't be in game, I have a Norris corpse. I wonder how
Norris.
much that's worth.
Okay, so Docs has a can full of dead bodies in Jita, I think, that he's trying to sell, and some of the corpses you can't get anymore because they're banned
It's not that I'm
characters.
trying to
Hit him
sell
up for
all
money.
of them or anything like that. It's more that I found I was looking through just some random lump of corpses in G2, and one of them's a Nova's corpse.
So, anything else happened this week that was big? Before, we can circle back to how Pappy enslaves their entire or not Pappy, sorry, Legacy enslaves all of their lower members with money and doesn't allow them to have anything for themselves. I'm fine with that, but just to make sure we don't miss anything. Chat, is there anything that happened that we need to know?
The
Nightmare BPOs.
Oh yeah, that
Yeah,
was
we can talk about that for a minute. They're
that was a
fixing that.
Nightmare
But
BPOs?
yeah.
Does anybody read around here?
Go
Read
on.
what?
You tell them about the
Read
bugs.
what?
I mean,
Okay,
Is
so
this
basically,
where you
these
tell me
new.
I should have read Reddit?
Yep, I will keep telling you
Oh
that
my
because you'll learn a lot.
God.
So,
I
anyways,
didn't learn this shit from
these
Reddit.
it's on Reddit. So these new winter sites in Lovesec and Nosec and stuff, they have a chance of dropping a Nightmare BPC, is what they're supposed to do. Guess what? Because they're Sancha ships. It's a Sancha event. So they're dropping Nightmare BPCs. Fun story. They didn't code it right, and it's BPOs. So now people are getting BPO drops, and they're like, ah! Now, CCP was told about this immediately, and they already said, don't trade them, don't make copies, because we're going to change them, we're going to delete everything. So, oh, hold on. Yeah, that's fine, Mifune.
Yeah,
so we've got BPOs. So now they're dropping BPOs, and they're going to fix it, I think, tomorrow, is what they said. But it's hilarious that, once again, what's Test's main doctrine? Nightmares? How many actual nightmares are they going to get in build before they change these? I don't know.
I'm pretty sure if you put them in a can anyway, when they run the script to delete it, it doesn't delete it.
So do we want to get closing thoughts in before I gotta go?
How much longer till you have to go?
I've gotta go 5 minutes. Some stuff's going on with the family. My dad's birthday is tomorrow, and we're doing some family shit tonight. So
lame. Okay. Well, we thank God we hit it earlier today that Pappy enslaves the rest of their alliance or Test basically extorts the rest of our alliance because they don't trust anybody and they just want to have all the money themselves. And I'm more than happy to debate that theory in another setting, maybe Saturday, if anyone wants to defend or talk about that.
I won't be there on Saturday, unfortunately, but
I know you're at retail right now, so
fucking retail.
Retail's gotta suck during the holidays. I've worked retail
So,
during the holidays.
I don't know if Ragnar's here, so we'll skip Ragnar for now. Ragnar, I think, is doing something right now, which is fine. Ryak, you've been quiet, but you've been hanging out, being a name in the chat. You have any final thoughts or things about this week that you thought were interesting or noteworthy? And if not, that's fine. Okay, fantastic. Docs, anything from you?
I I feel like there was probably something I was going to say, but I forgot it, so whatever.
Sounds like you, Doc.
Okay.
Pretty typical.
Mifune, do you have anything that you want to point out or give a quick shout out to or whatever?
Give a shout out to my father, who's turning 50 tomorrow. He's old,
Yay.
getting old. I've been trying
Jesus
to get him.
Christ. Way to make me feel old.
My dad's in his
Mifune.
60s.
I'm trying to get him to rejoin Eve. I've been trying for months to get him to log in, but he just won't fucking do it.
Like, I'm halfway to 50, and you're just gonna out, like, talking about your dad at 50 as if it's no big deal.
My dad's in his 60s, so it's fine. Ragnar, did you have something to say? Because I saw you unmute for a second.
Yeah, Mad Cows needs ISK, and that's
Oh
all.
my god.
Israel
Okay.
is apparently
fairness,
recruiting.
I think Israel is recruiting.
Israel is definitely
fairness.
recruiting.
Israel, well, at least that's what they say. I don't know if
Hold
they
on.
actually are.
So if you're halfway to 50, your dad could easily be 50 as well. He would have been 25 if he was, like when he had you. That's not too unreasonable.
My dad's over 60. Point.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is, it's not like, you know
No,
what? Never
but-
mind.
you know.
All right.
Okay, anyways.
Whatever. Carry
Dirk,
on.
do you have a final thought?
I suppose my final thought is to circle back to the whole CCP Rotati promotion thing and kind of say that as much as I'm anticipating the worst and kind of getting braced for the worst, I hope CCP Rotati's promotion does actually see more rapid change across the entirety of EVE. I think it could be a really positive move if it gets played right, because CCP Rotati does seem to have an interest across everything in EVE, and so maybe if he's suggesting areas of focus for the teams under his purview, that could be really positive for us. But at the same time, I kind of see the economic or the ecosystem team kind of getting dropped for a while and us ending up with no carrot for all of the economic stick we've had the last year and everything. And
You never know.
yeah, I would suggest that everyone get prepped for a long haul here.
I have
Yeah.
got plenty of cans of beans in the cupboard.
So my final thing today is going to be just a reminder that even though we throw shade on this show, none of us have a goal of trying to make anyone feel like super bad or really hurt somebody's feelings unnecessarily. And I'm more than willing to discuss or be educated.
I don't know about you, Dawn, but I have a pretty obvious goal of trying to put Docs down whenever I'm in a
Well, that's
comms
fine.
channel with them.
It's okay. I'll console him later. It's fine. But I mean, like, for the other side,
Is
yeah,
there some
all of
sort
us
of,
will
like, is there some sort of like complex involved there? Just curious.
probably.
No, it's just
So-
you. You inspired that reaction in me.
So any of us here
Well, you
are, like, at least me personally, my goal is to obviously entertain as well as like call out people on shit and let's have some discussion. But if someone thinks that I've crossed a line, well, we can discuss and I might tell you to fuck yourself, but
oh my
I'm willing to
God,
talk about it.
Dawn. Tell them to
What?
fuck themselves already. You're talking so much about like just apologizing to Twitch chat.
No, it's not about Twitch. I mean, just in general. Like, you guys came to my home, you hit my house. Like, yeah, people are going to say some things, maybe in a negative light. But anyways, other than that, I think we're done for the night. We're going to end a little bit early today because Mifune's got to go, like, powder his dad's nose or something. I don't know. So, thanks for everybody.
We've got to set
Thanks
up
for everybody
some
coming.
but-
I think so. Thank you for coming, everybody. We have open comms tomorrow on the Open Comms channel with Brisk Ribal and friends.
And
You can listen to Dirk drunkenly yell at people for an hour. Then we have Saturday. We have
Other
Push to Talk
Dirk.
We have Push to Talk. We have other Dirk who won't be there, so you don't even count. So
No,
you've
that
got
was other Dirk is on the open comms, and then
yeah,
I'm
the other
on Push
Dirk,
to
not
Talk
this
when I'm
Dirk.
free. Like,
Yeah, so Push to Talk will be on
I'm
Saturdays
not getting
at 1
drunk and
p.m.
yelling at
Eastern.
people on open comms tomorrow.
Okay. So Push to Talk is at 1 p.m. Eastern. You figure out what that is at Eve time. I don't know.
Done.
And then the meta show is going to be at 4 p.m. Eastern. And then all the other shows don't matter.
If you don't extort that simp in the chat for like 5 bill a week, I'm gonna be disappointed.
He's going to ask for things, honey.
No, just like that's the nature of simping. You just ask for money. You just
Dawn's
don't do
okay.
anything.
Dawn's not in Sundering. She can't do it anymore. She doesn't know how to.
I don't think there's an anti-scam policy in Goodwafa. And if there is, then I'll just send him over to somebody in Sundering to do it for me. I basically have my abilities. Anyways, we're done.
All right, good night, everybody. I hope y'all
have a good night.
A wonderful night and everything. Yes, to the Pappy member that said thank you for the CubeStar kill mail. Well, thank you, because there will be plenty of CubeStars to fall and catch. All right, good night, everybody.
All right.